Hello. Welcome, thank you for being here. Most of us have probably watched videos on YouTube or taken rides on Uber or used one of the many tech products and services that are now an everyday part of our modern lives. There's search engines, there's games, wearables, artificially intelligent assistants, and it is probably clear in some abstract way that all of these products and services, just like any other, require work to exist and function. What may be a little more difficult to imagine is that all along the supply chain for these tech products and services, there are lots of tasks that are continuously being performed by humans, tech workers. What I would like to suggest is that the term tech worker could include everyone whose work contributes to the value that tech companies deliver. We are all co-workers in tech. Data scientists, designers, and engineers imagine and develop platforms. Technical contractors offer additional layers of development work. Administrators help organize and align the workforce with business objectives. Sales and marketing folks find customers. Other contractors provide facility services like shuttle drivers, janitors, campus security. And in the gig economy, there are millions of workers providing monetizable value in the shape of content on platforms like YouTube or rides on Uber. Let's see if this moves forward. No. Oh, here we go. So these are a lot of workers, and they are quickly realizing about the critical role that they play in their companies and the power they have in the world. They are breaking through barriers and building solidarity with one another. They are finding ways for their collective voices to address concerns and opportunities in their workplaces. So the work they do and the great companies that they work for are aligned with their needs and values as human beings. I would love to show you these pictures, so let's see if or can someone help me move next slide? There, thank you. In November of 2018, thousands of Google employees around the world walked out of their jobs in an act of solidarity and protest. Googlers had mounting concerns about their employers' decisions and practices around issues like sexual harassment, a gender pay gap, and controversial contracts for customers engaged in ethically questionable activities. This year, in June, another group of brave Googlers organized with shareholders and community groups to making proposals for the board and the CEO to consider more humane, ethical, and democratic practices. And just a month before, 8,000 Amazon workers backed a proposal to the board for adopting practices that address and combat global climate change. Palantir is a privately owned data mining tech company that has controversial contracts with immigration and customs enforcement. The Washington Post reported that Palantir workers organized an internal petition demanding not to renew the company's contracts with ICE. A month prior, 500 workers in Boston walked out of their jobs at Wayfair to protest company contracts with ICE as well. And let's not forget the 800-pound cage rolling down the streets of San Francisco as a worker protest against the contracts that Salesforce has with immigration detention centers. At this year's San Francisco Pride Parade, tech co-workers organized to ban Google from participating and called on YouTube to demonetize and take down content offensive to the LGBTQ community. In Germany, YouTube content creators have organized, just like Uber and Lyft drivers have organized in the United States, fighting for transparent and fair labor practices in their industries. But I have been here talking about without introducing myself. I'm Antonio Aguilera. I'm Director of Worker Resources and Training at a nonprofit organization called coworker.org. Coworker.org is a digital platform at the intersection of tech, advocacy, and worker rights. The focus of my job is to provide support, connections, guidance, trainings, resources, and anything else that I can offer for workers to succeed in their workplace organizing. When I meet with workers organizing in tech, I like to share with them a frame that I've used to support the organizing of low-income immigrant workers. It's called the empowerment triangle, and I hope that we can see it. Is there a way to move to a? Oh, thank you. That's the cage. That's the protests. That's coworker. This is the. Thank you. A victim's common experience is to see the source of oppression as a perpetrator, and those who provide support as saviors. Can we go to the next slide, please? Thank you. In the empowerment dynamic, the empowered victim sees themselves as an agent of change. The source of oppression becomes the target, and the savior becomes a coach. Recognizing that those affected by injustice and oppression are always in the best position to make decisions and take actions to address it, but that they can be strengthened by having a coach. Someone who is constantly asking relevant questions and offering reflections and resources so workers can move forward, making their own decisions and taking their own actions. No heroes, no saviors, just agents of change supported by their coach. And that's my job at coworker.org. Can we get to the next slide? Thank you. I have the privilege of being a coach and a thought partner for an engineer at LinkedIn who organizes an ethics lunch. It's a space for coworkers to have an open and honest conversation about the alignment between their work and their values. This is the unique approach of this engineer at this company in solidarity with coworkers. For them and other tech workers in various companies, it has been my pleasure to review and give input on the documents they produce, to provide trainings, to connect them with attorneys, media, and other professionals when specific needs or questions pop up, and to encourage them to pursue their own definition of success with the support of coworker.org. Can we change slides? Thanks. LinkedIn hasn't made the headlines much, except to notice that we're not talking about them. But even in such a non-controversial workplace, tech workers are leveraging their collective power to have a voice in the decisions and practices of their companies. So no matter how big or small, how private or public, how disruptive or not your tech company is, you too have the opportunity to organize your workplace for having a voice in the collective and individual impact of the time and energy that you invest in your work. You too can organize with your coworkers. Helping your company do the right thing is an act of love for your workplace and for the world. So whether it is to change a dress code policy, to end forced arbitration agreements, or to fight the surveillance economy, here are 3 things that you can do right away. You can have conversations with coworkers you trust, and be curious about workplace change efforts in your company. It is very likely that others have organized before or are organizing currently, so you can reach out to them. You can also start your own ethics lunch or dinner or happy hour. Creating space in person for tech and labor conversations is a huge first step for creating worker power in your company. And when you're ready, start a petition at coworker.org. Our petitions platform acts as a center place for your coworkers and others to learn and support your change initiative so it succeeds. And if you would like direct pro bono support from coworker.org, please reach out to me. We can communicate privately and safely using the Signal app, or feel free to connect in any other way that you prefer. And this may include the possibility of meeting up for a drink or a bite, so do hit me up. And thank you very much, and continue to enjoy the conference.